everyone. Today, in the Legacy of Literature Awards, we have Professor Dr. Shukla Bhattacharya with us, author of novel Survival of the Stupidest and Other Anecdotes. And so, first of all, ma'am, welcome to our podcast session.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Well, I am into university teaching. I am a professor with the Global Humanistic University, which is located in the Caribbean islands. I'm a doctoral students advisor over there. Apart from that, I also mentor department heads in a management campus in Kolkata, West Bengal. Uh, I actually am an author. Like you have recognized me. I'm
Yes,
a
ma'am.
poet. I'm a
Yes.
poet. My poetry has been recognized in England and the United States. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
I am somebody who is, who believes in spirituality, practices
Yes, ma'am.
spirituality, uh, simplicity. I love being, very, very simple and down to earth. I'm still learning how to do it. Okay.
That's really good. So, ma'am, my
Thank
first question would be what inspired you to pursue a dual journey as both an academic leader and a literary voice on the global stage?
uh, See, once you are in the academics, like when I was a student in a university, when I was a research scholar, I got,
Yes,
professors who were global voices too, and they were inspiration. Now, the desire, to bridge scholarly rigor with artistic expression is,
yes,
how it comes, and it's in fact doing research. Let research do the storytelling, and vice versa. And
yes,
in that way, it can resonate both in the lecture halls, classrooms, and on a wider, cultural conversations. So this is what inspires. Uh, it automatically happened, you see.
yes, ma'am. Definitely. And, ma'am, how did your early life in Kolkata shape your worldwide writing style and academic philosophy?
Well, I was not raised in Kolkata actually. My childhood was spent in Kharagpur, Kharagpur, where we have one of the IITs.
Yes,
There, it has been the early years has been infused with with street life, the vibrant street life, then intense, intellectual debates that happened in my school, that is Saint Agnes, Carmel Convent School, and this probably shaped the literary intellectual details that blends the lyrical imagery with philosophical inquiry. Hmm? Fostering a kind of academic philosophy which is rooted in contextual as well as experimental learning.
yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you have mentioned that you have taught in India, Singapore, and the Middle East and the Caribbean. So, how has this multicultural explores influenced your writing?
Actually, it is profoundly interesting. Diverse cultural narratives and pedagogical approaches enriched my writing with, I can say, multiple perspectives, layered kind of symbolism,
Yes,
flexible voice that can, cross. cultural boundaries.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And ma'am, Survival of the Stupidest and Other Antidotes received the Legacy of Literature Award 2025. So, what was the emotional or intellectual impulse behind writing this book?
Actually, the book was published in Germany in the year 2017. And, capturing at that time, I was in Denmark. I used to write, in the city of Copenhagen. Most of the times I have written over there. And,
Yes,
it was like it started with capturing the absurdity of everyday existence and
yes,
turning it into a celebration of resilience. And intellectually, I wanted to probe how small anecdotes reveal, larger truths about human folly and wisdom. This
yes,
is, you can say, the impulse behind writing Survival of the Stupidest and Other Anecdotes. Yes,
yes,
precisely, yeah.
yes. And ma'am, how many of your work blend philosophy, memory, and social reflection? So, how do you balance creative freedom with intellectual precision?
Uh, yeah, that is, a difficult question because creative expression really, really cannot be confined.
Yes,
Yeah. At the same time, by letting the philosophical ideas guide the narrative structure while, simultaneously allowing the characters and scenes to breathe organically,
yes,
ensuring that the story stays authentic yet analytically sharp, and constantly revisiting the concepts to refine their artistic expression or excellence. You could say, yeah.
yes, ma'am. And ma'am, do you consider writing a spiritual practice, an emotional expression, or a literary discipline?
Well, writing, I feel literary writing is like, it can be like the motherboard of all subjects. So it's a literary discipline that can encompass spiritual and emotional layers, a
Yes,
craft that uses expressive techniques to explore inner experiences, making the act of writing itself a form of spiritual inquiry and uh, to some extent, of course, emotional articulation.
yes. And ma'am, your translation of Tagore's Street Patra is admired for its
Street portrait.
fidelity. Yes, ma'am.
Street
Sorry.
portrait. Bengali, actually. Street
Yes, ma'am.
portrait.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. So it is
What was the
admired
question?
for its. Sorry.
Sorry, I did not get the question. Please repeat that.
Okay. Your translations for Tagore book is admired for its fidelity and essence. So I wanted to know what challenges did you face while translating a classic?
Well, how that happened was one of my most, admired professors in Banaras Hindu University. She she
Yes.
happened to tell me once that Shukla, because I'm not a Bengali, they say I cannot understand Tagore. And could you tell me the story, this three potru like that, she said. So I thought that yes, this can be done. This would be such a wonderful exercise. But when I actually started thinking about explaining the story to her, it got difficult from the first step. So what was happening was I realized that I had to probably translate it. Again, amid the research work and all the stress, I took up the translating work. I probably started feeling that it was God's, plan, and probably my beloved, respected professor, madam, was an instrument to it. So, what when I started doing it, I understood that the the challenges that came were, navigating the linguistic nuances, and then the cultural
Yes.
references, the poetic rhythms, to preserve the fundamental, essence, requiring deep,
Yes, ma'am.
immersion into the subject, the original language, and the target audience's, sensibilities, to avoid the loss of meaning or emotional tone, and the primary idea, the revolutionary idea that came from the times of Tagore, the a housewife from the times of Tagore, who was writing to her husband, um, as a form of revolution.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, as professor and doctoral advisor at the Global Humanistic University, how do you incorporate humanistics learning into modern education? Uh,
Sorry, it got a little. There was a disturbance in between. Yeah, uh,
yes.
please.
Okay, can
Global
we just
human.
repeat the question?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please do. Please tell
Yes,
me once again.
yes, ma'am. So, as professor and doctoral advisor at the Global Humanistic University, how do you incorporate humanistic learning into modern education?
Well, you know, it is not necessarily just for the Global Humanistic University. It is applicable for all the universities in whichever continent and nation I have been. And actually, it is by uh, incorporating or weaving empathy. Empathy is so important. It's not, it has come like a cliche these days. I see the word empathy in many places being used commonly. It's not easy practicing empathy. It's not sympathy, it's not telepathy either, it's empathy. So by weaving this empathy and critical reflection and interdisciplinary dialogue that would happen in any way, into incorporating the interdisciplinary dialogue into the curricula, and encouraging students to connect academic concepts with the societal and personal values. This is how I try to incorporate the in humanistic. And sometimes, of course, you need to give uh, real life examples, so that students or the mentees are able to relate to what you are actually talking about.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely. And ma'am, what, according to you, is the most important quality that today's educator must cultivate?
Today's educators, first of all, because I belong to today's time, I would not say that, in the other periods, educators would not have to, update or upgrade themselves. Every era, every time period had its own, challenges. And but the basic points are, again, empathy in a certain empathy, tailored empathy, rather, I would say tailored
Yes,
empathy, enabling the the educators to understand diverse student experiences, diverse, because
yes,
it's
ma'am.
not the same for everybody, it's not applicable the same way. So to understand the diverse, student experiences, and then foster inclusive and meaningful learning environments that inspire, self discovery and critical thinking. Self discovery and critical thinking. This is, I think,
Yeah.
majorly and primarily required, apart from several other points like, updating your on your domain, your expertise, and of course the AI influences with that. Yeah, this all
Yes, ma'am.
included could be. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, my next question is about AI. So, how often speak about compassion and creativity in education? How do you see this value evolving in high digitalized AI-driven world?
See, um, well, AI is being useful, immensely useful in hundreds and thousands of ways. Now, compassion and creativity, they remain vital to, by guiding the technology and towards, humane purposes. I mean, what I mean is, AI can be trained with compassion and creativity toward more humane purposes. I see the values, evolving, mindful integration, mindful integration of AI, so that it is a tool. It's used as a tool to enhance the qualities, and not, not to replace them, not replacing, just to enhance the expressions and empathetic, capacities, and not to replace them. So that is how should be, AI, I feel, should be handled and more streamlined into.
And ma'am, you have received significant international awards. How does such recognition influence your creativity and academic journey?
Yeah, actually, these moments have been dreams come true, like the one that has happened with the Literature Times as well. Um, I would say it is, uh, it is a magic working in the universe or whatever. It's God's utmost, blessing, and big gifts. I definitely take it that way. Yes, it reinforces confidence and inspires deeper responsibility, you see, deeper responsibility as a poet for a global, audience. It motivates me to refine, the creative work and academic mentorship, and they highlight, the impact of blending scholarship with artistic, expression and mm, global audiences, I would say.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, as one of the 64 best poets in the world 2019, what responsibility do you feel as globally literacy voice?
Yeah, as one of the 64 best poets that was, declared by the Halcyon and the Black Mountain Press in the United States. So here, it carries, when I came to know that, yes, I have been considered as one of the 64 best poets from the world. I understood along with that that it carries the responsibility of representing diverse voices, staying authentic to personal experience, and using the platform to amplify underrepresented narratives, and inspire, literary innovation. Actually, the poet's way of looking at the world is something which I would like to share, so that the world is not just a more beautiful place to live in, but then there are other people's perspectives too, which you allow yourself to understand, respect, and delve deeper into.
And ma'am, your students and colleagues describe you as a mentor with empathy. What drives you, your approach to mentorship?
I would, for mentorship, I would again say that my attention is, I try to identify and discover specific students' needs. In a broader way, it could be tailor-made, but a tailor-made thing. But tailor-made, yes, but something probably a little deeper than that. I mean, it is driven by empathetic listening first, and then personalized guidance. Because it could be mother tongue influences, it could be the lack of knowledge, the lack of reading habits, the lack of the right kind of circumstance, the family, surrounding, and so on and so forth. So it is important to nurture and identify the mentees, unique strengths, while encouraging intellectual curiosity. Curiosity
Yes,
not in a broader way, but the curiosity which would fetch some kind of learning again, which would improve the surrounding near, and then fostering, an environment where questions questions are valued, and growth is collaborative. Questions are valued. I mean, when my mentee questions me, and there's a scope again, there's a world opening up. So it's a collaborative learning process. So I like to open that up and create that environment.
definitely. And ma'am, nature and human emotions seems to be recurring inspiration in your writing. So, why do these themes continue to draw you?
Once again, could you tell that once again, please?
Sure, ma'am. Nature and human emotions seems to be recurring inspiration in your writing. So, why does this themes continue to draw you?
Well, you see, nature, and that is one of the areas where my first chapter in the book, it talks about that. So these are universal, you see, universal concepts. I mean, they reveal universal patterns of experience, and transform. There is the bridge, the inner consciousness, external reality, transforming that together. These all together, are they provide endless, you see, material for endless material for artistic artistic expression, exploration. And when I say artistic exploration, it doesn't uh, negate scientific viewpoints.
Yes,
What science calls truth, literature calls beauty. That's the only
yes,
difference.
yes, ma'am, definitely.
Hmm.
And ma'am, my final question would be, what message would you like to give to your young writers, scholars, and global citizen who look up to you?
I would always, like to tell the, global audiences, the youth, the, people who have identified a purpose in their life, or even those who yet haven't. I would like to say that, it is important to stay curious, curious in a very positive sense, like the whys and hows that way. Another important point is Identify your enemy. For instance, it's not like enemy in the context of wars and nations, enemy in the context of my everyday life. For instance, the cell phones now. See the usage of cell phones. If we are not into it in a proper kind of, if I have not identified my proper way of using the cell phone, then it turns into a kind of enemy for me. And then
Yes,
you see the entire system, they say the nervous system, the sleep patterns, there are so many aspects to humane qualities in human beings that are being troubled, or that are being affected by these digital detoxification. That is why they say. So this
yes,
is one point. And then not losing, the sense of wonder and awe. If you feel
yes,
like, well, I know this, I know that, and I know the entire universe because I can only scroll through my phone and there is so much knowledge and information around. No, that's not the way.
yes,
Actually, basically, you have to understand, like that little small little particle that we are, in this entire cosmos. And there is endless learning to happen with wonder and awe and happiness. So I would say that, let your heartfelt expressions and let your existence be a dialogue, between what you feel, what you know, and use it to foster positive change and beautiful timelines for yourself, your surrounding, and to the
yes, ma'am.
universe.
Yes, ma'am. That's really amazing. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank
sharing
you.
such an amazing podcast session with me, for giving me a chance to interview you. It was really a great opportunity, ma'am.
Mhm. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I,
ma'am.
I, I feel the same way. Thank you for giving me the opportunity for the wonderful podcast that I could share with you. And you came up with such nice questions. I don't know how much I could answer them, but little bit that I talked was, it was lovely having that conversation with the Literature Times and you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very